Here's an idea: changing the way gender equality is viewed in our society. Now, this may seem silly considering all of the media coverage this particular issue has gotten over the past few years, but it's definitely something that's still controversial and something that's addressed and changed within our society. So, I'm going to be going over who and what is considered to be gender equal, how media has influenced and shaped the movement of gender equality, and how gender inequality still exists in our society today and how it can be changed. So, the first step is acknowledging these deeply rooted gender norms that our society holds. And this really differentiates between men and women. That's what the topic is always on: men or women. But what we don't consider is that there's people out there who are transgender, people who are lesbian or gay or non binary. And that's what we really need to address in the gender equality movement, because it's not just about men and women, it's about everyone. So, as I said, our society still holds these gender norms, and we've come a long way in promoting gender equality, advertising gender equality, talking about it, and doing something about it. But what the media advertises gender equality as is between men and women. It's always as, women are just as good as men, or women can do this just like men can. But it never really addresses people of, who are transgender, people who are lesbian and gay, people who are non-binary. And I feel like that's where the misconception of gender equality is rooted, where it starts. Every human being on this earth plays an equal part in determining and shaping the life of communities and society in its political, economical, cultural, and social aspects, not just men and women. So that's where I think the social media really misconstrues everything. Now, as I said, social media misconstrues everything by only talking about the gender equality of men and women, when really it includes everyone. And this does include the LGBTQ community. This does include every single walk of life. And that's where the whole concept of gender equality is not understood. It's interesting because we see advertisements that are directed towards gender equality, but they're not really hitting the mark. So we see advertisements such as the Super Bowl ad that said "fight like a girl," or the hashtag "like a girl," or the hashtag "we see equal," which was promoted for International Women's Day. Whereas we should see more promotions such as the hashtag #MeToo, which is all gender inclusive. Now, with these advertisements and with these hashtags, we do see that gender equality is misconstrued. There is a misconception of it in our society, such as the hashtag "fight like a girl." Well, what does it mean to fight like a girl? Aren't we all equal? Aren't we all supposed to fight the same? Whereas the #MeToo hashtag. The #MeToo hashtag is an example of sexual assault awareness amongst all walks of life. And this includes men, women, gay, trans, non-binary people, to promote that sexual assault happens to everyone. And that's, a really big issue in our society. Now, within the media, we also see hashtags such as "Time's Up," which is similar to the #MeToo hashtag. We also see hashtags such as "Women's Rights" or "Human Rights." But what we don't consider is that every person has human rights. And this does include the LGBTQ community, which I feel isn't as exemplified in the community as much. So, all in all, I feel as though as a society we've really progressed and we've come a long way in regards to talking about gender inequality, doing something about gender inequality, and really promoting gender equality. But I do feel as though our concept of gender equality is still misconstrued and still something that needs to be changed. And again, our progress has been slow and steady. We have, made a change towards something, a movement towards something, but our concept of gender equality is still misconstrued. It's still something that needs to be fixed and rendered. It's still something that needs to go beyond promoting just men and women gender equality. It needs to go, it needs to reach the LGBTQ community. It needs to reach every single walk of life. And, this idea can really help our society and help influence our society in a way that we've never seen it before.